Alright folks, let's talk about Form 3520. 3520 is about foreign trust and gifts. And a lot of people, to be honest, don't even know that this exists. But if you just ignore this, it will cost you penalty up to 35%. That's a lot. You don't want that. So let's dive into this. So first, what is Form 3520? So 3520 is a is not going to cost you anything per se. As I said, there are like two kind of things that you're going to file. One is tax return, the other is information return. So let's be clear, this Form 3520 isn't a tax bill, okay? It's information return. So nobody's is asking you just hand over the cash, okay? So yeah, this is just information return, but it will result maybe in more tax. Okay, so you know what? You're just handling information. You hand information to IRS and tell them what's going on. But if you say, hey, what about I don't file this, IRS don't know. Yeah, the penalty is huge, and it's not necessarily if you don't file, they don't know, because other party in the transaction may file more information, so IRS can get that kind of information. Okay, so don't just assume that you don't file the information return, the IRS don't know about it. Okay, so yeah, if you qualify for this, you have to file this. Okay, so yeah, so basically this is information return that if you are a US person, this form is just a kind of you saying that relax, okay, relax, Uncle Sam. I'm not hiding like Cayman Island fortune. Yeah, I'm like not hiding. I'm telling you that, and totally legit. Okay, it's just the kind of relax, Uncle Sam sort of information. File that to IRS. Okay, so basically it's filed by US person, and you will see this US person wording a lot during a lot of my videos. You hear me say a non-US person, a US person, something like that. So who counts as a US person? Let's complete, like, I will repeat that multiple times, right? Let's do that over again, so you got a really clear idea about what is considered a US person, what is not considered a US person, right? So basically three things. Okay, one is US citizens, the other thing green card holders, and foreigners who's been in US long enough to meet, there is a test called substantial present test. Okay, so as long as you are qualified, they still treat you as a US person, okay, for the tax filing purpose. Okay, so basically if you are qualified for that, or if the entity is qualified for that, you're going to file the Form 3520. Okay, so basically the IRS, like, come on, every legislation, every specific requirement, you need to understand it from the fundamental point of view. So what does the IRS actually want? What does the IRS actually after if they require you to file this form? Basically three big things. Okay, your foreign soap opera moments. Okay, so basically if you got like big things going on, if you're doing something that's connected to the foreign entities or foreign person, something like that, right? That specific soap opera moment IRS want to know. Okay, so let's go through this one by one. Transactions with foreign trust. Okay, so for example, if you got like rich aunts in Singapore and they set up a family trust. Okay, it's a very common practice to set up a trust there in Singapore, and you know what? They manage the family trust, the setup, the manage all that in Singapore. Okay, but the rich aunts, through that family trust, they send you money from that trust. Okay, and you might like phone your aunts. Okay, nowadays we do phone like this way, but I'm old. Okay, I do phone this way. It's like this way. Okay, so yeah, you phone your aunt and aunt say, well, yeah, don't worry, just some money. Come on, it's just for your kids, okay, just for the kids, okay. Aunts love love their kids. Do you need to worry about it? Of course you don't need to worry about it. Just like your rich aunt in Singapore said, come on, you're just receiving trust money, okay? But you know what? Who is worried about it? The IRS is worried about it. So you have to file this information return. So IRS kind of say, hey, rest assured, nothing fishy is going on, okay? So you have to file that, and there's a penalty if you do not file it, okay? So the second is ownership under the section 671 through 679. Okay, so basically, as long as the IRS thinks you control that certain foreign trust, and you know what, even if you do not control that directly, you control the trust indirectly. You know what? Congratulations, you are the owner in their eyes. Okay, so it's kind of like a really raw way to think of that. As long as you control it in somewhat like, very convoluted way that you control, you are the owner. Okay, so that's very, very straightforward and a very brute force way to say, hey, you are the owner of that trust. Okay, so basically that's considered ownership. Okay, so it's like it's like being made the parent of a trust that you didn't really ask for. But as long as you have that ownership, that you are the owner. Okay, so yeah, if you're owner of that certain trust, you need to file. Okay, so that's the second requirement. The third is the large foreign gifts or inheritance. So basically, this is like for example, your grandma in Shanghai. That wires you, okay? You remember the term, that wires you. They just send some money through the wire transfer. So wires you, I don't know, hundreds of grams, right? So because she loves you more than your cousin, right? Guess what? That is reportable too, okay? That is the thing that you need to report because you are the lovable person. And what is more important is that you actually received gift. And more important is you receive a foreign gift in money, right? In the form of money. We receive the money and it's not just taxable by default, okay? But you need to file that as an information return. If you skip that form, you may receive the IRS love letter, which I mentioned multiple times. That love letter is the penalty that you don't want to see. All right. So yeah. So basically, this form 3520 is not very scary. It's just information return. So basically, it's just like a gentle you waving an IRS say, hey, I got some international stuff going on. Okay. And it's not about laundering the money or something fishy or illegal, right? It's just some international stuff going on, and you have to tell them that, because you know what? From the IRS point of view, if you remain silent about the international transaction, that looks very suspicious. Okay, so if you're open about it, if you file that. And then if you do everything correctly, it's okay. It's completely legal to do that. But you have to file that information return. Okay?